everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie's Creative Place, and I am back here with card number 2 from our online class. We are doing the Christmas Barn Bundle for our online class this month. If you would like more information on my online class, you can head over to my blog, and there's information there, and the link is in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started on this card. First of all, in your little kit, you'll get the supplies, and you need to have a piece of Pool Party that is an 11 by 4 1/4, and then we're going to score it at 5 1/2 in the middle. Then you need a piece of the Whisper White, and this is for our stamping and stuff, and then we need another piece of Whisper White to make our snow. So the first thing we're going to do to make our snow and everything, we are going to take this and we're just going to rip it. There's no right or wrong. I just took it in half and I just kind of ripped it. So just like that. I mean, there's no right or wrong with this. You can do it however much or however little that you want to do. The next thing I did was, I'm going to score this really good. I don't know if you know this. If you score this really good on the edges here, it makes your card lay flat so you can work with it. So then I'm going to line this up. I want the bottom one all the way to the bottom, like so. And then I want the next one up here, if I could get it now that I've got it held down. I want the next one right about like this. So that way there is a little bit of a, I guess, underneath the other one. Now I'm lining this up, and that's all I did. I put a tiny bit just so you can see, because there's no true measurement. I'm just lining it up with my other one, and that's all I did. I maybe left 1/8 of an inch for this to glue on the top of that one. Okay, so what you're going to do is, I find it easiest if you take a little bit of glue, and this one is the new one, as you know from the last video, so I doubt a little is going to come out. I'm going to try, and to take a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to rub it along the bottom of this one, like so. It's just basically to hold this one in place. I'm going to take this and just barely, I'm lining up the edges. You want the edges is what's the most important. The two ends, so that they line up nice and neat. So I lined them up. I should have let them sit for a second or two longer, or maybe I didn't even put enough glue. Okay, give it a second. Okay, then flip it over, take your snail, run it across these like so. Run some a little bit along the edge here. I think my thing is almost out. I got a refill over here. Yeah, okay. Then go ahead and place this on your card, so it goes down just like so. Okay. Now I'm not going to press it hard at the top of this card yet, because, let me see something. I feel like it's not lining up now. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now it's, oh, every time I get it, then it moves. Right there. Now I'm not pushing this down. I'm not going to push the top down hard, because of the fact that I got a tree to put behind it, and I don't want it to, you know, I want the tree to get behind the first one first. So we're just going to set this aside. You could have waited and done that after you did all your stamping too, but I just figured since I had it going, well, we did that. Now we're using Shaded Spruce and Crumb Cake, and I need to get my trees. So this is my tree, and I want to make sure I cleaned it off good. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to stamp the tree in the Serrated Spruce on this piece of paper 3 times, leaving area for my barn. So 1, oops, I got real close to the tippy top of that, but I think it'll still work. 2 and 3. Then in this stamp set, there's a barn. We need the barn, the reef, and the words to this. So let's get the big barn here. And then a little block for our words. And then another block for our reef. Okay, there we go. So we're going to take the crumb cake and we're going to stamp our barn. Okay, stamp them up pretty good. I'm going to put the barn right here, just like so. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to take the Shaded Spruce and we're going to stamp up this little reef, and we're going to put that up here in that corner. If you don't like it, I think it's a little too low. I'm going to put it over in this corner. There we go. I had it a little too low right there. Then I'm going to do my May joy fill your heart this season. And I'm going to put that one right here. Just like that. Okay. So now we're done with all our stamping. So let's put all this stuff back over here. And let's clean this up so I do not put my hand in it. I'll get them out of the way. Get this out of the way. Bring in our scrap piece of paper from earlier. And then the only blends I used for this whole card was Crumb Cake Light and Dark, and then the Dark Cherry Cobbler. Now I'm going to zoom you in so you can see my coloring, and I will fast forward this. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to get out the big guy, and we are going to die cut all this stuff out. Now let's get working on putting the rest of this together. Now I noticed that this one is just a tad bit off right here. All right, get it. There we go. All right, now on this one here, I'm just going to stick it right underneath. Now before I press down, I'm just putting it here for a minute. I'm going to put glue underneath it too. But I want to make sure where I'm putting my barn that it will show. Now I'm kind of making my barn tuck a little bit underneath that. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. Hopefully this is picking it up. The rip part there, just tiny bit of it underneath there. Okay, so I like the placement of that tree. So I'm going to take the tree out, add some snail just on the tree. Then I'm going to put it back under. Again, before I press it down, I just want to double check because I did move it. You don't have to if you don't want to be precise. I'm just kind of, you know, I like to do that. Oh, you know what? Let's take this back. I cut that off. I didn't even remember. Cut this off. You don't need this on here. So cut that little bit off. I was wondering why it was lining up better with my little snow and the tree wasn't coming down close enough. Good thing I noticed that, because my tree needs to be down farther. So now I want my tree down in there a little bit farther. Just like that. There we go. And I have this just to the top of that ripped stuff. So we're going to add him, or we're going to put adhesive on him. And then we're going to touch this down right here on the edge of this, and we're going to put this here. Again, I don't want to press anything down hard yet. I am going to take this and put some snail on the back of it. And I want this one to tuck in the corner of it here by this tree. Now that one, I know I want it, so I'm pushing it down. I have everything where I kind of want it, except for that moved on me, that white piece, but that's okay. There we go. We're good. Now on this one here, I'm going to cut the tree down. I just picked a spot, and I just kind of went like that, and I cut the tree down, and I'm going to put it right out here. And I did pop this tree up on some Stampin' Dimensionals. I don't know what I do with my pokey tool. Here it is. So I put a couple minis on here. Okay. And I'm going to put some right here. I think I put it right about here. Just like that. Pressed all that down. Then I'm going to bring in the reef, and I'm going to put one mini on the top and one mini on the bottom of this little reef. And then I'm going to put it right over top of, I'm putting it below the edge of the barn rim there. Let me see if I can turn it sideways so you guys could see better. I'm putting it below this, but over this window, and kind of in the center, and it kind of goes over the other doors a little bit, just like that. Then I take out this, and I just saw some stuff that I didn't cut out again. So, ooh, I took the top right off with that one. There we go. And then one more right there. And this goes right in the center, just like this. And then I need to bring in, I'll bring in the mini for this, the die cut machine. And I got it cut out. I should have cut this out when I had it, and there's still some bunch of scraps on here, on your piece. So I cut that down. Bring in the mini. And bring in our snowflake dies again here. And get them out of my big dish. I need 2 sets of them. Here they are. There's actually 3 of these little snowflake thingies, so you can cut 3 sets at one time. And we're going to run them through. Okay. And they're all right here on this platform. So I'm going to kind of leave them on that platform to use it right now to help me put them on this card. Now, I'm going to do it like I had suggested in the first video, to add a little piece of glue here, kind of spread it out like that so it's not a big glob. Then take your pick tool, rub them in it, and then put them down. I find this method less messy and a lot easier to put them down. And if you run out of glue, then you just do it again. I think I have one missing on this one, but that's okay. If I kept them from the last card, I wouldn't have need to run it through a third time, because I don't like even numbers, and that's 6. I would have put a 7th one on there, but I like that. So then the last thing that we got to do for this card to give it the pizzazz, well, there's 2 things actually, and one has to be done before the other, and I need this little kit. And you got to take out, I think it looks like steps walking into the barn. It could just be melted snow and that's the dirt. I don't really know, but I considered it like little steps going in there. So I took the crumb cake ink. God, I hope you guys saw all this. Like, I didn't realize it was on zoom in. I'm going to zoom you guys back out. Hopefully you saw everything I did. Oh, God. And then I took this and I put this right here. Just like that. I might have had it tipped a little bit more, but it's in the area. Then I take this Wink of Stella and I'm running it right along the ripped. When you do this, this just adds a lot to the card. It makes it pop out of the card. Now, you got to do this because I'm going to add a little bit to the trees. But when I add some of this to the trees, it's going to run some of the, shaded spruce ink. So you want to be very careful, and you don't want to do your snow before you do this, because if you do, this shaded spruce color will blend over. So you just want to add just a little bit here and there. See how a little bit, if I go out of the white, you could see that the shaded spruce is kind of running, and that's just, I don't know, it just does it. And I'll just do this a little bit here and there on the trees. I'm not doing it everywhere on the trees. I just wanted a little bit of sparkle. You don't have to do this at all. But what I do suggest, if I hold this up, I don't know if it's going to show. I'll give a minute for the camera. There is green on the edge of that. I do suggest taking your scrap paper. See how the green, I suggest taking this and running it until it's gone. See how it's not, there's where I did it and there's where I did it the first time. So that's what I suggest doing when you do it on any colored part of the ink, because that's a watered base. So there's just a quick tip. So there is card number 2 on our online class, and I'll be back with card number 3. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.